the Mac Voices update for October 2024. This is Mac Voices. Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. This is the October 2024 Mac Voices update. And yes, I know I'm publishing it on November 1st. I had a choice. I could either preempt some of our discussions on Mac Voices Live about the new hardware, the M4 hardware that we saw announced by Apple this week, or I could put this out either on the 30th or 31st and skip over some of that, or at least delay it. And I felt like for those of you who are looking for information and maybe making purchasing decisions, it was best to go with the option of giving you the information and then talking about the briefing just a little bit late. So I try to work them down to the last day of the month or around there. This time it just didn't quite happen. So we've had an amazing month talking with our friends on the Mac Voices Live panel, some developers, some authors, just a great set of conversations and a whole lot of information that you'll benefit from. So if you're a little bit behind on your Mac Voices, no problem. They're sitting there waiting for you. But I promise you, you will not be disappointed. The website redesign, of course, has been launched. We've had it out now for a couple months, still squashing a few bugs, still trying to get back a couple of the features that we had before, and maybe add a few new things. So just bear with us. It's getting there slowly but surely. We also have seen some posts to the new Mac Voices blog. Not a whole lot, but some. I'm trying to keep it a little steadier than it has been. That was hampered a bit by some business travel I had this month, but trying to keep it on a schedule. So I think that you will see more as we go along. And hopefully you will enjoy some of the things that might be a little off topic, or they might be pointing to other resources other than just Mac Voices that I think you will benefit from. So with that, I think that it's time, before we get to the support report, to talk a little bit about some of the changes that have come to Patreon. If you are a Patreon supporter and have been, nothing changes. According to Patreon, everything will remain the same. If not, however, Patreon is moving to a subscription billing as opposed to a month by month. So that will change for any new supporters out there. This is not something I'm doing, it's something they're doing. The reason they're doing it is because in order to continue to allow subscriptions to your favorite podcasts or whatever is using Patreon through the Patreon app, Apple will now be enforcing its 30% cut. Now, you've heard us talk plenty of times about that 30% cut and how people, developers, authors, everybody else seems to think it's unfair. I'm not here to take a position on that. It is what it is. And so instead of protesting, I'm just going to tell you right up front, if you support Mac Voices and do so through the Patreon app, then Apple is taking a 30% cut. That's the price for having the convenience of using the app. Honestly, I don't think I've ever mentioned the Patreon app on this show, and up until now. And so if you are going to patreon.com directly, patreon.com/MacVoices, and signing up and supporting us there, Apple does not get a cut. We still get exactly the same amount as we have in the past. Again, obviously, Patreon has their cut off the top because they have to make some money too. So I want to make sure you see this. If you see any changes to anything, you want to log into your Patreon account and determine what's going on. If I can help in any way, please drop me an email. You know I can use the support because, as we've talked about before, bills are constantly going up, and we are constantly adding services and resources to try to make Mac Voices better for you. That said, I want to make sure you are aware of the best way to get most of the money that you pledge to supporting Mac Voices. But if it's a matter of convenience, or if the only way you access things is through your phone, that's fine. Do whatever is best for you. But I just want to, again, stress how much I appreciate all the support that our Patreon members have given over the weeks, months, and years. and continue to do so. It really does help as those prices go up. Couple programming notes here. First of all, next week, as I record this, once again, I'll be doing some business travel. So MacVoices Live will be dark, but I've already got different shows queued up. We're going to be playing a little bit of catch up on some back MacVoices Live shows and releasing those into the feeds, as well as a couple other things. So there will be no days that you don't get a new MacVoices. They just might be a little bit earlier or later than we typically have them. But that's just the way it has to go sometimes when you're traveling and changing time zones. With that, let's talk about this month's support report. Again, thank you to everyone whose name I'm about to read, and thank you to everyone who helps support us in other ways, like buying things through our affiliate links, posting reviews, sharing and liking our posts on social media, and every other way that you can support MacVoices. It is all absolutely appreciated. This month at Platinum, we had Marty J. At Gold, we had Webb B., David G., Robert G., Tim G., and Keith M. At Silver, we had Baz, Cletus H., Craig A., Eric B., Fallen C., Brett C., Bruce E., John E., Barry M., Chuck P., Andrea S., and Daniel S. And at Bronze, we had Max C., Brian F., Craig H., Clinton M., John M., Patrick N., and Prop P. So one last time, thank you so much to all of our Patreon supporters. You really do make a difference. To anyone else out there who'd like to become a Patreon supporter, we'd love to have you. Joining our Patreon gets you access to the MacVoices Discord and the MacVoices Slack, and also to the MacVoices After Dark shows that we publish in a restricted fashion on YouTube, so that you can get to see what happens before and after the live shows. And believe me, sometimes what happens before and after are at least more entertaining. They may not necessarily be more informative, but they are definitely more entertaining than what happens during the show, because all the safeties are off, and you just never know what this crew is going to say. So with that, I'm going to say thank you again for being part of the MacVoices family. I hope you are having, as I record this, a great Halloween, and I will see you back in November. But in the meantime, I will see you with a whole lot more MacVoices. I'm Chuck Joyner, as always. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.